Hi boys and girls, my name is Miss Laura and I am the Director of Family Ministry and Christian Education at Grace United Methodist Church. This here is Autumn. Say hi, Autumn. Yes, they're all looking for food. I decided to do our video outside again today. The book that I'm going to read. Ow. I've got chickens all around me. I'm surrounded by chickens, but that's not a bad thing. I am all hot and bothered. You might be able to see I've got a red face because I have been out on the scooter with my son. I scooted 2 miles today. Can you believe it? It was so nice to get out and about today because I didn't feel very well yesterday, but today I felt good enough to go out and just enjoy this beautiful sunshine and all of my chickens. This one is called Summer, right? We don't have a spring. We've got an autumn and a summer. Maybe we should get another chicken. Don't let Mr. Freeburn hear me say that. Hi, Summer. Well, I have a beautiful book to read to you today, and hopefully that will cool us all down. I'm sat in the shade outside in my garden. This book talks about kind of some racial issues. You may have heard lots of things going on in the world today. Something called Black Lives Matter is a wonderful movement that just kind of shows people how to treat black people, African American people. I mean, they're just like us and should not be disrespected in any way whatsoever because of their skin color. I actually did an Engage moment called Black Lives Matter where I talk about this a lot more. So if you would like to look that up on the Engage Children's Ministry Facebook page or our YouTube page, you're welcome to do that, and that's where I kind of go a little bit more in depth and just talk about what's going on. I also would like to direct you to the Baltimore Washington Conference website, which is where it explains where us as Methodists stand on so many issues and where we are kind of in COVID, you know, coming back into the church. And that website is just a wonderful resource to be able to go to and just kind of look up as kind of what's going on, or you know, just to give you some ideas. So let's get to our book. This is a beautiful book. I'm actually going to take the cover off because it makes it a bit difficult to read. It's called The Other Side. The Other Side by Jacqueline Woodson. So you see the girl on the swing and a girl by the fence. That's what this is about. So let's open this up. I'm going to take the cover off because, as I said, it makes it a little bit difficult to read. Whoops. Okay. Whew, I'm still hot and bothered. Hi, Summer. Summer wants to come and read the book with us. Let me go back a little bit so that you can see the pages. Beautiful pictures in this book. Okay, here we go. That summer, the fence that stretched through our town seemed bigger. We lived in a yellow house on one side of it. White people lived on the other side, and Mama said, "Don't climb over that fence when you play." She said it wasn't safe. Here she is on the swing. That summer, there was a girl who wore a pink sweater. Each morning, she climbed up on the fence and stared over at our side. Sometimes I stared back. She never sat on that fence with anybody. That girl didn't. She is, and there's the other girl that's watching her, see? Once, when we were jumping rope, she asked if she could play. See these pictures? Beautiful pictures. And my friend Sandra said no without even asking the rest of us. That's not very nice, is it? I don't know what I would have said. Maybe yes, maybe no. That summer, everyone and everything on the other side of that fence seemed far away. When I asked my mama why, she said, because that's the way things have always been. Sometimes when me and mama went into town, I saw that girl with her mama. She looked sad sometimes, that girl did. Don't stare, my mama said. That's not polite. It rained a lot that summer. On rainy days, that girl sat on the fence in a raincoat. She let herself get all wet and acted like she didn't care. Sometimes I saw her dancing around in puddles, splashing and laughing. Do you like to jump in puddles? I think it's fun. Put your welly boots on and go out and splish and splash. I love the rain. Someplace in the middle of the summer, the rain stopped. Let me show you the picture first. See that picture? And when I walked outside, the grass was damp and the sun was already high up in the sky. And I stood there with my hands up in the air. I felt brave that day. I felt free. I got close to the fence and that girl asked me my name. Clover, I said. My name's Annie, she said. Annie Paul. I live yonder, she said. By where you see the laundry, that's my blouse hanging on the line. She smiled then. She had a pretty smile. There they are, talking to each other. And then I smiled, and we stood there looking at each other, smiling. It's nice up on this fence, said Annie. You can see all over. I ran my hand along the fence. I reached up and I touched the top of it. A fence like this was made for sitting on, Annie said, and she looked at me sideways. My mama said I shouldn't go up on the other side. My mama says the same thing, but she never said anything about sitting on it. Look at that. Neither did mine, I said. I think we know what's going to be happening next, boys and girls. Look at these beautiful pictures. That summer, me and Annie sat together. We sat together on that fence. And when Sandra and them looked at me funny, I just made believe that I didn't care. Do you see them in the back, sitting on the fence? There they are, sitting together as friends. Some mornings, my mama watched us. I waited for her to tell me to get down from that fence before I break my neck or something. But she never did. I see you've made a new friend, she said. And I nodded and Mama smiled. That summer, me and Annie sat on that fence and we watched the whole world around us. There they are. There's Mama. One day, Sandra and them were jumping rope near the fence, and we asked if we could play. I don't care, Sandra said, and when we jumped, Sandra and me were partners. The way we used to be. When we were too tired to jump anymore, we sat up on that fence, a long line of us. Look at these girls. Look at all the different expressions on their faces. Isn't this beautiful? It really kind of shows how each girl is feeling. All the different faces and all the different expressions. Someday, somebody's going to come along and knock down this old fence. And he said, and I nodded, yeah, someday. The end. Isn't that beautiful? I keep going back to this picture. I really like this picture where they're all thinking. I wonder what they're thinking about. Because, do you notice anything different about these girls? Not just their clothes or their shoes. Maybe at first you don't notice the difference, but all these little girls have black or brown skin, and this little girl has white skin. See, quite often when we have friends that have have black or brown skin, we don't even notice sometimes if they're our friends, but it's really important, especially to remember that white people and black people used to be separated because white people didn't treat black people very nice at all. And so this story is about this fence and how the fence separated some families, like a black family and a white family, and it shows that everybody is the same. You know, they all want to play, they all want to jump rope, they all want to sit on the fence, and everybody's the same. And they're saying that they hope that one day the fence is going to get broken down so that everyone can be together. You know, everyone can mix up in this world, and God made us all, and there really shouldn't be a fence that says black people on that side and white people on this side. And that is what this story is telling us, because that fence has been taken down because people, God worked through many people. Somebody called Dr. King actually was a very important person in changing this, in changing how white people treated black people. And fences like this were meant to separate black people, they came down. So this is a beautiful story, just showing that fence between them, it really didn't need to be there, because their friendship won in the end because they wanted to play together. So I think that is a beautiful book. This is going to be in the Grace Church Library when we get back after our quarantine and COVID. I've bought lots of new lovely books that I'm going to be sharing with you, and then they will all be going in the Grace Church Library, and you will be able to borrow them if you would like to. So again, this story was called The Other Side. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have any questions about anything really, about the book or just anything in general, you can always get in touch with me. My ears, they don't, but they're very good at